Good morning. I went out to the garden this morning, ended up picking 45 pounds of tomatoes. Wasn't expecting to have to can this morning because I didn't think we had that many tomatoes, but obviously with the heat and over the weekend, everything just really blossomed and ripened. So here I am canning, and I'm going to take you guys along. This is just, I'm trying something new. Kids are occupied. It's actually almost lunchtime, so I'm going to have to stop and get lunch. But I wanted to get this video started. Again, using the recipe from So Easy to Preserve, and I feel like a broken record, but if you guys can get this, it is really, really helpful. And it took me a while to settle on a recipe, but let me show you what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at this chili salsa here. It's not a mega batch. It's only 5 pounds. Now I have 45 pounds of tomatoes, but I'm only going to do one batch because I'm not sure if I'm going to like this recipe. But check this out, guys, and this is why I really like this book. It has this whole section on canning salsas and what you can exchange for lemon juice or vinegar, that exchange process with the recipes, about tomatoes, about peppers, how to make sure you can use different varieties but not increasing the actual weight and not changing the actual acidity of the recipe, making it unsafe. It talks about peeling peppers and then changing the spices and herbs, and then it has a little bit about other ingredients you can use. I know I've had several people on here concerned about just the safety of home canning, and this book addresses those issues so concisely, letting you know you can change the spice amounts. That's not going to change the acidity, but just keep the quantities or the weights the same, but you can have that flexibility between the peppers or the tomatoes or things like that. So I have found that book so useful in allowing me as a home cook to have the flexibility to change the recipes but still doing it safely. So with that, I'm going to start by boiling the tomatoes, peeling them and skinning them first, and then I'll just work my way through the recipe. If you're new to canning, I highly recommend getting that book. When I first got it, and now this is my third, I believe it's my third season of having it and using it, I don't sit down and read the whole book. I just read bits and pieces. And like today, going back and refreshing on using things safely and measurements, that's how you learn. So if you're new to canning, just start with baby steps, because I'm still learning after doing this for so many years. And I want to film this and inspire you guys to tackle home canning if that's something you're interested in doing, because it's a lot of fun. And there's nothing fresher than in the winter opening your own jar of fresh salsa or tomatoes. But let me show you all the tomatoes I picked. Here they are, minus the 5 pounds I already took. I just picked my zucchinis. I do not know how they get big this fast. We're in a drought and they're still growing like crazy. Picked a handful of cucumbers. I do need to do some canning of cucumbers. And then this unfortunate little watermelon, the vine completely died on it. So I don't know if it's ripe or not, but I wasn't going to let it sit in the garden and waste away. I don't think it's ripe. Honestly, I think it just got so dehydrated that it didn't, grow. But I will find out when I cut that open in a little bit. And then different varieties of tomatoes. So these were a new variety to me. I tried growing them last year, but it was too late in the season. These are called Milano. They're an heirloom paste tomato. I've never grown them. A friend gave us seeds, and I decided I was going to grow them, and this year they have been very successful. You can see I've got several here. Look at the size of this. This is a huge paste tomato, so I'm really excited about cooking with that. But then I do not know where this fella came from. I'm suspecting it's a type of heirloom, but I have no idea, and I have 2 of them. So, strange things happening in the garden. I'm going to do a taste test and see how it tastes, because maybe it just crossed with some of the seed. I don't know. But it's been fun to grow. And then lots and lots of just my standard tomatoes. Lots of these Heinz Classic Processor tomatoes. They are very interesting. They're determinate, and they all ripened at the same time, and the plants are dead. Just like that. it was the most interesting tomato experience I've ever had, which is fine. I'm going to take the tomatoes out and I'm going to go ahead and put some broccoli and lettuce in there, so it's not the end of the world. Very different than the determinants that I usually grow. So it just shows you just never know. Tomatoes are all different, and when you're picking your seeds, pick a couple different varieties. So if you have a determinant like this that just decides to vomit all of its tomatoes at once, you have tomatoes that you're spacing out for, you know, the next couple weeks, not all at once and then you're done. That's good for canning, which is great. That's what happened for me today, but it's not good for long term. I have my indeterminate tomato plants are going to be producing well into September, probably the first week of October. So I'll have tomatoes for a longer season. It's just this particular variety it ripens all its tomatoes and then it's done. So back to my recipe, I need 2 pounds of chili peppers or any combination thereof. So I'm going to go out to the garden and see how many pounds. I don't think I have 2 pounds of chili peppers. I probably have a pound. So I'll pick those and then probably put a green pepper and a jalapeno in there. Let's see, let's do 3. No, I'm going to have to pick a lot more. Nice big bell. That's probably 7 or 8 ounces. Okay, let's see, we need 11 ounces left. Okay. My one and only banana plant that has done fabulous, absolutely fabulous in this raised bed. I am so glad I planted it in here. Because if you guys go back and look, this was a baby plant. Like, I didn't think it was going to even make it. It was so tiny. Okay, there we go. Let's see if that's 11 ounces. I need about 5 more ounces. Let's try this guy. Are you 5 ounces, Mr. Pepper? Okay. So there we go. Right around 2 pounds right there. We'll just pull out this banana pepper and call it good. And I'll go ahead and write all the exact quantities and weights that I did on all these peppers. So it's 2 pounds, but I'll list down in the recipe below the breakdown of chilies versus green peppers versus bananas versus jalapenos. I turn the water on to boil it so I can dip the tomatoes and peel them. And while that's going, I'm going to peel the chili peppers. These guys have really, really tough skins, so you have to blister it off. And I figured while I'm waiting for lunch, this is a good time to get these peeled and they can set in the bag. All right, here, put them in the oven under boil for a few minutes. Oh, I totally forgot about my peppers, but I think they're okay. You're supposed to blister the skin like that, so we'll say that's normal.
Not burnt.
Yeah, well, we're just gonna flip them over.
And then let them cook again?
Yeah, and they have to cook the other side. Because they weren't quite. Okay, back in the oven for another burning. Perfect. Those the skins will peel right off, like that. So I put all of the peppers in the bag. I'm just going to fold it up and let them steam so I can peel them. And I'm going to eat lunch while those steam, and then I'll be back. So everything went into the pot. I put in some spices and then the vinegar, and it says you're supposed to bring this up to a boil and then let it simmer for 10 minutes. So I'm still going to bring it up to a boil part, and I have the water going in the canner here, and that's getting ready to can and sterilize jars. So these are all sterilized. I've got 2 minutes left on the sauce here, and I have my canning station all set up. Ladle, this is a funnel, my lids, which I'm going to sterilize next, and then my lid lifter, and then my jar lifter. So I have everything set here ready to go so I can process this really quickly, and it smells wonderful. I wish this made a bigger batch, but I wasn't sure how it would actually taste, and I don't have enough chili peppers to do a ton. So this is more experimenting and trying new recipes, but I will leave all of the ingredients down in the description if you guys want to see everything that is. And again, check out this cookbook. It's so easy to preserve. Not sponsored. It's just what my master canner had suggested to me, said it was what she considered her Bible of canning, and I have found the same thing. It has been very useful in canning food from the garden. All the jars are filled. I just need to put them in the water bathroom. I think it said 10 or 15 minutes of processing, and then that will be all done. And we had a little bit of leftover, but Art will eat that when he gets home from work. I know he's going to love that. Okay, so I was looking through my cookbook here, and oops, I just lost the page. I found this recipe for zucchini pineapple. Right here. Uses 4 quarts of cubed or shredded zucchini, pineapple, lemon juice, and sugar. So I am going to go ahead and try making this. Charity went and found the pineapple juice at Dollar General. So we're going to give it a shot. It just says canned unsweetened pineapple juice, and this says pineapple juice, no sugar added. So we're gonna give it a shot. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're gonna try it. I have so many zucchinis, they're coming out my ears. So, okay, first things first, I'm going to peel and shred the zucchini. These are the two that I picked today, so I'm thinking this is probably gonna be enough, but I also have more in the fridge if this is not enough. Yeah, this one's actually harder. You want to cut the zucchini tops off? Yep.
That would be better than the zucchini.
Reality. Sometimes you make a mess when you're canning. So that looks like that's right about 7 cups. Got a little bit more to go. We're going. So we added the pineapple juice, lemon juice, sugar, and zucchini to the pot. This has to come up to a boil and then simmer for 20 minutes, and then I just pack it in the jars, and it's going to be all done.
Oh, wow.
Not too bad.
There's a little bit
Better
of
than it
pink in
was.
there.
The vine was totally dead. So that's still edible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks
I'll
better
eat
than
it.
the last one.
This is done. So now I just need to can it, put it in sterilized jars, which are in there, and process it in a water bath for 15 minutes, and then this will be all done. So there they are, all done. 10 quarts of pineapple zucchini sauce, and then 8 quarts of chili salsa. These are already popping, which is a great sign. And with that, I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thanks so much for coming along with me, canning with me. Hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and we'll see you for next video. Bye.